there it is. You got something to fight with if you want to fight. Now, if you're lazy, you're satisfied being a passe kind person that's going to end up being a goat at the end of the day, well, I can't help you. But if you want to give up that Sunday mess, quit calling it the Lord's Day. The Lord's Day is the 7th day of the week. Then you're going to be a full, clean sheep. You're going to be a member of the New Testament church. And you're going to marry Yahshua the Messiah. You're going to be his bride. And you're going to be sitting on a throne with him as he rules the nation. That's the story, baby. That's what you're going to do. Now, you ain't got no excuse because we walked you through it, pro and con. You ain't got no excuse at all. You just got to not be lazy. If you're lazy, you're going to lay around and just, well, let me die in the Sunday church. My mama told me to sit here. She pays so much money for this pew. And I ain't going to leave the place. Well, that's a lazy spirit. All kind of spirits going to be trying to kick you out, baby. But you got to get ready. Now, he lined up these nations. The kingdom of God is on his way. We only got a few more days, and he's going to be here. The second coming of Yahshua the Messiah. He's going to be coming back. And you're going to have to find somewhere to hide. You're going to either be in him or hiding from him, saying, like the Bible said, that stones fall us and hide us from him that coming in the clouds with wrath in his hand. Revelation, chapter number 9. We're in the book of Revelation all the way through. And you have to get this stuff in your knowledge, you know. Come on, you got a chance to be. Now, you can't be in the New Testament church except you've been called. You know. So we ain't going to beat you up about that. But you can keep the commandments of God, not being called, but being ready to receive a new body for you when you wake up in the kingdom with the right knowledge and make the 1,000 year and don't go with Satan. Let's read that to them. Let's go to Revelation again, chapter number 20, verse number 20, verse number 7, verse number 6. I think it is 6, yeah. Revelation chapter 20, verse 6. Let's read that. Now, this is the people who've been there, who were the nice people. They went to church on Sunday, because they had been deceived by a preacher who told them that God's word was done away with. And they were too lazy to read their own self and found out what he lying. But now they is getting salvation with no interference. So let's read that.
Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection.
Now, the first resurrection is for the New Testament church only. The first resurrection is for the New Testament church only, and the children of Israel, who God is going to provoke to jealousy with the New Testament bride. Now, this is what I said. The New Testament church is the bride. The bride is a mixed multitude. We got every nation on the planet got at least one person playing the bride in the New Testament church out of all nations. Then you got the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, who this Gentile bride gonna provoke to jealousy, which the children of Israel. So they got to be there at the wedding to be provoked to jealousy. You know, when they got another girl from all nations, they can provoke the Israel to jealousy, because the Israel provoked the Most High to jealousy with their idols. So when Yahshua let the new bride sit next to him, looking like him with a glorified body, no human color, but the color that him and God wear, they gonna be jealous. And then that's the way God gonna pay them back. He provoked me to jealousy with your idols. I'm gonna provoke you to jealousy with a foolish nation. I'm gonna take a foolish nation and make her smart, to let you know you ain't the only girl in town that like me. They thought they was the only girl in town. So they did the Almighty any kind of way. So nobody said, I'm getting even with you. I'm going to provoke you with a foolish nation. I'm going to provoke you with a people that was not even considered people. I'm going to call them, I'm going to dress them up, I'm going to change their attitude. I'm going to give them the knowledge I gave you. I'm going to give them the money I gave you. And that's going to provoke you to jealousy. And I'm going to be all right after that. That's we in the condition we're in. As we ain't planning to stay in North America. Well, if God wants us to have 100% freedom, He left us in our own land. We had the best land anywhere on the planet, which is Jerusalem, where He watched day and night. You only here for punishment, for provoking the Most High God to jealousy. He said, I'm going to send you among the worst of the heathens, and they ain't going to be too kind to you. And they have not been too kind to us. For 400 years, they've been slapping us around, giving them fury with us, sicking dogs on us, water holes on you. The brothers from the civil rights died today, they said. The one that they hit the head, them Dixie Crats hit him in the head with a police stick. Fractured his skull. He passed away, the brother. With the old dirty Dixie Crats down there in Georgia and in Alabama. I was down there as a young man, 20 years old, down there in Mississippi, the foreign land, I used to call it. Me and my buddies, we came out of Baton Rouge, we had this up into Mississippi. Never forget it. couldn't sit down nowhere, took all the seats out the bus station, finally found somewhere to eat, had a board between us, and he wasn't acting right. I said, man, we're in a foreign country. Don't be talking like you're talking to these people. Let's get some food here and get out of here. And he insulted another white girl, you know, because he didn't like the South. He being from the North knows not to do that. I just grabbed it and said, let's go. Let's get to Cincinnati. I paid for the food and apologized and got out of there. They were sticking dogs on people, hitting them in the head with clubs, or, you know. At that time, being a hustler, I ain't gonna get hurt for nothing like that. You know what I mean? But I was there. So I got myself in the car and got back to Cincinnati. You know, well, it wasn't that mean. Now, if God wanted us to be in great blessings, we could have gotten it right there in Jerusalem. We could have got it right there. We was in the best place on the planet that God said, I'll watch it day and night. I open up the heavens and let the best crops grow for you. I give you money to lend to many nations and borrow not. But you keep taking my stuff, putting it on Ham's idols. I gave you all the gold in Egypt, all the jewelry. I brought you out with a strong arm. And you done provoked me to jealousy with these idols that you're doing. And I'm going to provoke you with a bunch of Gentiles. That's what happened to us, baby. Now, we getting out of here. We ain't here to stay. We're here to go through this punishment. And then we ready to go home. We ready to go back to our land. The my people which is called by my name. We the Yahudim. We the Yahuda. We the Yahuda. We the Yahuda. Which means we are the Judah. We're named the same name they call Jerusalem. Jerusalem, which actually is Yahudim, really. And the Yahudas is the people. The land is called Jerusalem. And the Most High is called Yahweh. And that's where we're going. We're not here to stay. So we don't need to be tearing down nothing. What we need to be doing is turning back to the Most High like the Apostle Paul told us to do. So this captivity we're in, and we'll get ourselves back on top. Because this stuff was only supposed to last the 400 years. Now don't be hard-headed and start no more foolishness. Don't get killed. I told you, put your mask on, put your gloves on, quit running from the police, and quit burning and doing dumb stuff. Because God told you you ain't supposed to do it. Now, Revelation chapter number 6 is the first resurrection. Read that. Read out loud, Bro Rick.
Blessed is
Revelation 6.
Blessed.
There's two more times and I'll be through. What he said.
Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection.
All right.
On such the second death have no power,
Now the second death is those who is going to be cast into the lake of fire. That's called the second death. That we read over there when he said that they're going to be cast into the fire. What God made the second death for Satan the devil. It's the lake of fire. That's what it is, the lake of fire. The second death is the lake of fire. It was designed for Satan and his angels. It wasn't designed for no human beings. You ain't gonna last no longer than 2 or 3 seconds when they throw you in there anyway, because you're mortal. It was made for angels who are not mortals. You wouldn't last in that lake no longer than a few seconds. You burn right up. Because it wasn't designed for flesh and blood and bone. It was designed for Satan and his angels who are spirit beings. You ain't no spirit. You ain't got no spirit soul. The kindness of God is going to be in your favor because God is so kind. He know he got to burn you up. He going to burn you up fast because he really loves you, but he can't let you run his world. He got to run his own world. You hard-headed don't want to change. You want to be a fool all your life. Fool ain't going to change. A wise man will change. You won't last a second in that lake of fire. It wasn't made for you. Soon they throw your rough in there, you're going to be burnt up because it's going to hurt God to see you being burnt up because he loves you. So he made it going to be really easy for you to burn on up. The thought of being thrown in there is what's the problem. The pain is in the salt, not in the fire. Now, Satan, the devil, and his boys, they're going to be thrown in there too, but they're going to have to suffer a little while before they can burn completely up because they spirit beings. Are you listening to what I'm trying to tell you? They spirit beings. You ain't no spirit being. You're flesh, blood, and bone. You don't have no immortal soul. He didn't tell Adam you got an immortal soul, so when you sin, your soul going, no, he told him, thus you are and thus shall you return. So he's going to burn you up so fast. That's the kindness of God. He don't want you to be dead anyway, but you're so hard-headed and so stubborn and rebellious. So he got to burn you up because he can't have you here making other people miserable. Goats makes other people miserable. That's when they separate the goat from the sheep. You got to take these goat nations and burn them up because all they're going to do is keep the same old stuff going on forever. And God said, I'm not going to put up with it. So he's going to throw you in the fire that was made for Satan and his angels. And you're going to be consumed, bam, and be as though you never was. Now, read on a little bit more. We are almost finished. Y'all hanging out a few more seconds. Hanging out a few more seconds with me. Go ahead. Read. You get Revelation 20, verse 6 or 7. Now you get verse number 8.
Go to 8.
Revelation 20 and 6, you read that, read 7, read on down to verse number 8.
All right. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
All right, now, all of them in the kingdom that has gotten salvation now is going to be tested with Satan. He's going to ask them to go his way. He's going to show them the background that once upon a time they was somebody and they was great. Now they got to serve the children of Israel. They got to let Israel be the #1 nation. So he's going to try to get them to quit being obedient to God like they was in the going to the new moon and going to the 7-day Sabbath every month, every weekend. And he's going to tell them, you don't need to do that. You need to come on with me. We can take this kingdom from Jesus. That's the test. The New Testament church is getting their test now. We're being tested now. Satan is asking us to quit serving God and quit keeping the 7-day Sabbath. And we saying, no, we can't do it. We got to stay with God so we can get eternal life. Everything got to be tested, baby. You are not without chastisement. You ain't that important. If it did it to the green tree, what about the dry tree? Jesus had to be tested, and he was tested. But he learned the obedience for the things he suffered. Why do you think he was in the Garden of Eden praying? He didn't want to die. He was a human being. But he said, not my will, but your will be done, God told Peter, put your sword up. I'm ready to go and be crucified. Everything got to be tested. God don't let nothing hang around without being tested. You're being tested now with this plague and all this stuff going on. You're being tested. Now, the church of God gets tested first because he said testing begins at the house of God. We're being tested first. We got to make it. We ain't got no chance. If we don't make it, it's the end of the thing because you only get one chance with knowledge. The reason people are going to be there is because they ain't got no knowledge yet. But once they get some knowledge, then that's when people are going to be dying in the kingdom. Because they're going to have some knowledge good from evil. Right now, they're just doing what's coming in their own mind. Ain't no king in Israel. Ain't no king in the land. Everybody dumb. Everybody just doing what's coming in their own mind. They ain't doing nothing. The only people doing something that right is the New Testament saints. And they're having difficulty with temptation. They're being tempted daily. As long as you got this fleshly mind, you're going to be tempted. If you don't want to be tempted no longer, you got to get a glorified mind. But as long as you got Adam's mind, Adam's body, Eve's mind, Eve's gene in you, you're going to be tested. Not one day, every day. Satan's going to be testing you with an evil thought. And you're going to have to say to that evil thought, I'm not going to act upon it. I'm not going to let it live in me. Because it'll take root. I'm going to cast it down immediately. Now, read on Revelation, go up on earth. Now read on the way he says that he's there to tempt the people that's being taught for 1,000 years. We in verse number 8, right?
That was verse 8, yes.
Yeah, read verse 8.
And
I'm getting it together. I'm trying to get it together.
And shall,
verse 8 says what?
And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about and the beloved city, and fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them.
There you go. That's the final test. That's the final test. Everybody's been back in their land. They all got salvation now. They all educated. They know right from wrong. But here comes Satan again. The final test. Now he's going to cause some of them to pick up a goat spirit and follow him to the lake of fire. See, he's going to get someone to go with him. As the sand of the sea, a whole lot going to go with him. Now read on verse 9.
That was 9.
Read verse 10 now. Go on to read 10.
Okay, let me get to it.
Read 10. Read 10, 11.
All right. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them.
Now that's what's happening now. Satan gonna be cast into the lake of fire. Now it's gonna be a little time for him to be burnt up. But long as there's fuel in the lake, there's gonna be people being burnt up. See, in other words, ever and ever means that long as there's something for fire to burn, fire burns itself out when there's nothing else to burn up. See, when there's nothing else to burn up, fire burns itself out. So when all the angels done burn up and Satan done burn up, then the fire gonna burn out because there's nothing else to burn up. And burn up all the folks that followed him, burn up all the folks who that turned into goats, burn up all the angels, and then got to burn up all those that's gonna come up in the second resurrection. Then the fire gonna burn itself out. So that's what the Bible said in the book of over there in Isaiah, that you're gonna be burned. You're gonna see their bodies. They were being burned up in that lake of fire. See. Now the thing is, we got to understand that God do not want to burn everybody up. He wants to save everybody, but these goats ain't gonna listen to God. They never listen. So he's gonna burn up all those that won't obey, and then we're gonna have a perfect world. Because he's gonna change the bowed bodies, and they're gonna have a kingdom on earth like it is in heaven. Did you hear that? He's gonna have a kingdom on earth like it is in heaven. Ain't nobody being burned up in heaven, is it? Ain't nobody in heaven having no bad deal. So he said the kingdom on earth gonna be like the one in heaven. That means it's gonna be peace and harmony on the earth. I'm gonna be back here. I got to come back here because I don't think I gave the whole 9 yards, but I can't get a whole 9 yards right now. It just takes more time. But I'll be back. I'll be back because I got something else to tell you. But I ain't got room to show it to you now because it's time out for me to close down. But I'm going to be back here. Listen to me. Put this one I did today in the minds of your friends. Study it real good. Study it real good, the one I did today. I hope you take this. Study real good and look at it. Remember what I said, it's 3, the goats, the sheep that do good things to the ones that overcame with Jesus, the New Testament church, and Jesus Christ. New Testament church, the goats, The ones that being kind, but won't keep the whole 10 right now. And then Satan and the false prophet in the lake of fire, which is the second death. It was designed for them, but also the ones that keep the goat personality was going there with them. But they'll burn up so fast by the time you blink your eye. Because the fire was not made for them. It was made for Satan and the devil. God bless you this morning. Thank you for listening to me. Rick is going to give you instructions. We love you. We're praying for you. And we hope you're in the best of health. But you don't worry about staying here because this ain't the place you're supposed to stay. You got to land yourself called Jerusalem. God bless you. Bye-bye.